Good afternoon, dear students. The theme of our lecture is classifications of linguistic personalities. According to the plan of our lecture, we are going to consider the following questions. The first, average linguistic personality, characteristics of a strong linguistic personality, and the last, weak linguistic personality and its characteristics. As you know, the linguistic personality is the study focus for many linguists. This term is considered to be the core system forming philological concept, nowadays evaluated as integrative, which set the stage for the new milestone in linguistics development, anthropological linguistics. A linguistic personality is a cross-cutting idea that strikes all the language learning aspects. For modern science, the interest is no longer just a person in general, but a personality, a specific person, a carrier of consciousness and language, possessing a complex inner world and a definite attitude towards fate, material world, and other people. At this point, a global interdisciplinary approach to the interpretation of the language essence has been formed as a specific human phenomenon through which one can understand the nature of a person, its place in the society and ethnicity, its intellectual and creative potential. There is a number of classifications of linguistic personalities in modern linguistics. The classification of linguistic personalities seems to be the most accurate of its if it includes three components: a weak linguistic personality, average linguistic personality, strong linguistic personality. This classification allows to select the main criteria, characteristics, and abilities of each of these types. Let's start with average linguistic personality. The average linguistic personality can be characterized by simple regularity of speech and nothing more. In interpersonal verbal communication, the average linguistic personality, as a rule, doesn't think about rhetorical skills, about an impression the word makes, about the comfort of communication, about the methods and means of helping to gain and retain the interlocutor attention. However, studies show that the average linguistic personality, which is characterized only by the simple correctness of speech, is evaluated by native speakers mostly negatively, the mediocrity being incapable to conduct interpersonal communication correctly. The second type is a strong linguistic personality. The concept of strong linguistic personality is rhetoric and as an art of logical reasoning and verbal communication usually includes: first, fundamental knowledge possession; second, the presence of a rich information stock and the desire of replenish it; the third, mastering the basics of constructing speech according to a certain communicative concept; and the fourth, speech culture. A strong linguistic personality must know and skillfully apply the whole range of linguistic means that enrich and adorn the speech: comparisons, contrasts, metaphors, synonyms, antonyms, parameers, aphorisms, word symbols. An indispensable condition for a strong linguistic personality is a highly developed intellect, creativity. Thus, a strong linguistic personality possesses not only correct but skillful, masterful speech, which has a creative aspect associated with the surface and deep structural transformations, the ability to direct expressiveness to non-expressive word formations, Suggestive potential and adaptability are among the indicators of a strong linguistic personality. In the process of interpersonal communication, the ability to influence the audience is one of the clearest signs to a strong linguistic personality. The success of interpersonal communication for a developed communicative personality is achieved because of its ability to communicate clearly and accessible to the addressee, to report, analyze, comment, summarize, parry, generalize, predict, which implies a development mental apparatus as well as avoidance of self-confidence, adherence to the principles of cooperation, partnership, courtesy, and common culture, the presence of composure, emotional non-response to their interlocutor's attack. The third type is weak linguistic personality. A weak linguistic personality acts both as an author or recipient of speech and can manifest itself at almost all speech communicative levels. Weak linguistic personality is characterized by such parameters. The first, at the linguistic level, ignorance of the norm and various styles and genres of language and speech, forms of speech etiquette, speech poverty, lexical composition, monotony, the presence of many hesitations, a large number of parasitic words, empty sounds that have no meaning, which indicates a poor word stock. B. At the communicative level, the inability to convince, the inability to carry on a conversation in the right way, the inability to listen to the interlocutor and defend one's point of view, disrespect to the addressee, and expression of contempt towards the listeners. The next level is paralinguistic level. It is characterized by aggressive tone, unpleasant voice, lack of ability to read kinetic information, stiffness, restraint, noisiness, or lack of loudness and emotionality of speech, monotony, fastness, glance, intonation, manner of presentation. At the mental and intellectual level, weak linguistic personality is characterized by constructed outlook, the need to make constant intellectual efforts during communication in order to understand and get the meaning conveyed by the addressee, the inability to take into account the situation of discourse and topic of communication. The linguistic personality is not only a social phenomenon that has, in addition to universal, national and cultural components, but it also has individual aspects. A number of modern scientists devote their research to the problem of identifying a universal and national specific language personality, noting that the personality should be viewed in the cultural tradition perspective of a people, ethnic group, because of the genesis of a person in a human being. There is a need of culture, anthropological prototype, which is formed within the culture. Therefore, linguists are paying more and more attention to the problem of national character, taking into account socio-cultural characteristics, different situations of speech, interpersonal and intercultural communication. Thank you very much for attention.